I'm a meth addict in recovery, and since we're getting to know each other, I thought I would tell you how I started to tell people in my life, like my mom and my dad and my friends, that I was struggling with crystal meth addiction. All right, so by now, the cat's been out of the bag for about a few years now. Like my entire family knows that I struggled. All of my friends know, and now all of you know. So I started smoking meth at around 21. In the beginning, I smoked it every couple months, then I smoked it every month, then I smoked it every couple weeks, then I smoked it every couple days. By the time I was 26, I had come to the conclusion that I was a drug addict and that I was struggling with addiction and that I needed help. So I didn't want to tell my family because I thought that I would immediately be judged. I'm from a West Indian household, and they would be like, oh gosh, you're smoking meth? Well, and I didn't want to put up with any of that. But I did have this one neighbor that I loved to hang out with. We're going to call her Keisha. And Keisha and I would hang out. We would smoke weed. We would chill. We would have laughs. And I remember one day I sat in Keisha's kitchen and I told her, and I swear I bursted out into tears because I so desperately needed to get that off of my shoulders, off of my chest. I had been holding that for so long by myself. I cried for hours that day, and Keisha supported me through it. It was sharing that secret that made it a lot easier to come to terms that not only was I going to be okay, but that I was still lovable. From there, I found a therapist. This was in 2015. I worked with that therapist for about 2 years while struggling. They always suggested that I get into recovery, but at that point, I was so naive that I was like, I will take any sort of help that I can get off of my insurance. And this is the help that I can get. I was desperate. When that therapist left her practice, I had to quickly rush and find another therapist. Now, this therapist introduced recovery right off the bat. She was like, listen, no, no, no. You're an addict, you're struggling with crystal meth addiction, and you need something called recovery. And she's who introduced me to the center's IOP program, which I am still in today. I was so inconsistent with my therapy appointments at this point that all of the therapists that I had at this time in my life just eventually like either change practices or just stop accepting my insurance because I was like showing up some weeks and for months I wouldn't show up, and then I would call and have an apology and then show up. And finally in 2019, I got into the center's IOP program, which had always been available to me, but I just didn't know up until this point. So at this point, it's 2019. I'm struggling with crystal meth addiction. I move into this brand new apartment that I'm living in right now.